Let's talk about the merits of what they're advocating and the legality of what they're advocating. Edwin Walker, native Texan, earned his bachelor's degree and law degree at the University of Houston. He's a licensed attorney, 21 years, partner with Walker and Byington Program Attorneys for Texas Law Shield. It's Texas legal services company devoted to firearms law. Law practice concentrates on firearms and self-defense issues across the state of Texas. Edwin, welcome to the Chris Crock Show here on WBAP with me, Chris Salcedo.
Well, hello, Chris. It's good to be here, as always.
I want to, well, first off, first blush, just give me your reaction to idiots like Sleeper 13 Productions that would put out a video encouraging children to steal firearms from their parents and bring it to school.
Well, it clearly is ridiculous. In fact, it's so ridiculously over the top. One would think that it was maybe produced by a troll or by The Onion.
No, I completely concur, but they're serious. Now,
I think that she's just, this apparently it's run by this one woman who is apparently a very, very soft-headed leftist who I think probably put it together in the hopes that one of the anti-gun groups would pick it up.
Right.
But I don't think that even the anti-gun groups are so stupid as to buy into what she's pushing.
Oh, I don't think anybody believes this. But see, you know what? I say that. And 10 years ago, we didn't think somebody like Barack Obama was possible, and look what's happened. We didn't think that. So I don't want to dismiss this stuff. I want to beat it back before, and again, there are some people in history that believed, oh, my children would never become informants for the state on me. And look how that worked out in human history. So let's just treat this. Let's just say, for argument's sake, some child sees this quote-unquote PSA, public service announcement, and decides that they want to steal their parent's gun, and let's say one of them gets shot or shoots somebody else. Can this production company be held liable?
Well, you can't really hold anybody who produces a piece of intellectual property liable. I mean, that's just that's a First Amendment issue. That's why quote unquote violent video games can't be held liable. That's why, and I'm probably dating myself here, but I don't know if you remember that Beavis and Butthead were accused of inspiring kids to set their houses on fire.
I remember that. Yep.
So that's why all of this is protected by the First Amendment. There's not going to be any issues of liability. However, I do agree that these sorts of things need to be rooted out because you don't know how they're going to progress. Obviously we can laugh at it, we can say, scoff at it, say this is utterly ridiculous. But one thing that has occurred in the past is that teachers have been known to inquire of their students. Does mommy and daddy keep a gun in the house? Are you around guns? And getting the children to lie, getting the children to basically rat their parents out, that is a tried and true tactic of many leftist political philosophies. Lenin said, if you get the children, then give me the children, and I'll have an entire generation. The Stasi, that was one of their tactics in getting family members to rat on each other and getting neighbors to spy on other neighbors.
See, and we got to be careful too. We got to be careful about the terminology of saying rat on each other, because when you rat on somebody, it gives the impression they've done something wrong. And in this case, we have a Second Amendment right to own. Law-abiding citizens have a Second Amendment right to own firearms, period. And there's nothing to rat on. There is no legal issue. There is no problem with that. There is nothing illegal or immoral about it.
Yes, that's true. And rat, whenever I use the term rat, I mean whenever the state has made a decree that they want to ferret out anti-state activity. So this would be assuming that the state had passed rules to say that that owning guns is against the law. But going back to the ad, it's rife with so many absurdities. This kid that he says that he's scared of guns, however, yet he goes and he clearly plunders through his mother's chest of drawers to find the gun, takes it unsecured in his backpack into school, basically points it at the teacher before he gives it to the teacher. I mean, it's just absurd. Well, now, one thing that is kind of concerning is that, this woman made this PSA, and in the credits, she thanks some school district in Oakland, California.
Oh,
and if I was on the board or a parent in that school, I would be very, very concerned that, this school allowed its students and its facilities and apparently has given its endorsement to this type of ridiculous video.
And, well, not only ridiculous, but it's illegal. The child is being encouraged to break several laws. Can you? By the way, Edwin Walker of Texas Law Shield is my guest right now. Edwin, the child goes up to his parents' room, his mother's room, finds the gun, puts it in his backpack, brings it to school, places it on the teacher's desk. Can you describe to me which laws the child, if this were actually true, violated in each one of those steps?
Yes. Well, the child is, he unlawfully takes possession of a firearm. So in the event that you had a parent to actually file charges on their child, that would be theft. Theft of a firearm, which is an enhancement crime in and of itself. When the kid has the gun in his possession, he's unlawfully carrying the weapon. Then, once he crosses the threshold of the school, he commits the crime of bringing a firearm into school, which is prohibited by the Texas Penal Code and is, in fact, a felony. Mm-hmm. Then, whenever he pulls it out and points it at the teacher, that could be construed as either deadly conduct or an assault, depending upon what they can prove as far as his intent goes. So, the kid definitely would be gathered up and taken to juvenile, to the juvenile detention facility.
Now let me go over one more thing. I don't want to let this go because I'm a big believer in culpability.
And also, I might add that the minute that the teacher picks up the gun, now she's a felon as well. She's
an accessory. Okay, so we know there are laws against inciting riots. I mean, your free speech only goes so far as to when you start crossing over and harming others. When you violate somebody else's rights, your rights stop. That's how the Constitution works. So it is not legal to incite a riot, and you can be prosecuted for that. Is it considered free speech to encourage someone to put their life in? Is it against? How do I put this? Can anybody be held responsible for inspiring young minds to put themselves in harm's way, I suppose? I guess I'm going to answer my own question. I bet you there is no statute that deals with this.
Well, it depends on how attenuated the act is from what they're seeking to have. Now, interestingly, with regard to riots, I don't want to get too hyper-technical, but in Texas, you need 7 people at least to have a riot.
Right.
But yeah, if one thing that you can look at is there's a law out there called conspiracy. And if you encourage somebody to engage in criminal activity, and you encourage them to the degree that they actually go out and do it, it is highly likely that you've committed the crime of conspiracy.
Now, okay, so let me go down that road really quickly. I only got about 30 seconds left. If we watch the video here, Edwin, and this production company seems to be advocating for the breaking of law, could they be, using this video as evidence, could they be accused and charged with conspiracy?
Well, you know what? I think that they certainly could with regard to the kid actor that made the video.
All right. Edwin Walker, he is an attorney for Texas Law Shield. Sir, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for your time and expertise. As always, here on the Chris Crock Show, it's me, Chris Salcedo.